welcome, my friends, to the Cortex Labs Nootropics Show. I am your host, Ryan Michael Ballo, and we are going to talk about downshifting in doses on your nootropic stacks. Now, there's a thing that we talk about in Smarter, Better, Faster, in the new Pepro stack list to some extent, and in the Rastam God Guide. Those are our digital guides where we discuss nootropics methodology. Basically, there's a way to take nootropics to take them over time, to be able to sustainably take nootropics over the course of maybe 10 years or 20 years or 30 years or the rest of your life to get good brain function. And part of that methodology is obviously cycling. That's one of the main things we talk about. I think it's critically important for folks to do. But there is a particular strategy that I've been, sort of beta testing with consulting clients on this. We've got a consulting service. It's $65. Get your 40-minute call with me, 15 additional email correspondences. Get it at livecortex.com. Get our digital guides at livecortex.com too. Links are in the description below for all that stuff. Where basically we've got folks that they're mainly college kids, and a few people are going to get medical degrees, and so they've got a lot of demand from their brains. Where basically they are requesting that we figure out a way so that they can keep taking nootropic stacks that work really well for them, but basically not cycle. Essentially, they kind of feel like they can't cycle. They can't cycle because there's so much going on. And look, you should always try to cycle. You should always try to find a way to cycle. You should always try to use caffeine, or yerba mate, which has caffeine and theobromine in it. They're stimulatory. Theobromine is a stimulatory agent. Central nervous, stimulatory agent like caffeine is, and perhaps some other stuff, just like good solid exercise, a high tuber diet to really make sure you're fueling cell mitochondria to produce ATP, so you've got a lot of energy. For me, there's nothing better than a high oatmeal, high tuber. I eat so many carbs, it's insane, and my workouts are incredible, and I'm lean as fuck. It's just like great. And so I know the keto folks are like, what carbs are gonna kill you? Like, that's a whole other discussion. But and you folks are awesome, and don't worry about it, and we'll disagree on some other platform. But you got to find another way, right, to produce the energy in some of these instances. But this strategy that I've been using with some consulting clients, and particularly medical people that are going to medical school within a university environment and demand so much out of their brains, their workloads are demanding so much out of their brains, we're basically trying a strategy of downshifting their stacks. And downshifting their stacks is basically not cycling off, but basically having all of their doses on everything for 2 weeks. Okay, and that 2-week period, takes place after a month or two of consistent use. I try to get them to do it after a month. After a month of taking very particular stacks that I've suggested to them based on their brains and whatever stacks that we found, really works for them based on, their history and what their diet is and what health problems they have and what medications they have. And then, they take that stack, for a month or so, and everything's going well and they're functioning awesomely. I know, because I've been in this game, I'm like that internet meme guy. Like, if you don't drink alcohol, you won't be hungover the next day. Like that, I know that eventually they're going to engage in some degree of receptor downregulation. They'll build a tolerance to the stack. The stack might not function for them the way that it did in the beginning. So I know I need to get them cycling within at least 2 months of starting to take a stack. They've got to start cycling, right? And so what has been working pretty well, to the point where folks can have their doses for a couple weeks and then get back on the full dose of the stack and then have exceptional brain performance, not experience tolerance, is this strategy of having the dose. Okay, so let's break down an example. You've been taking a particular nootropic stack for a month or 2 months. It works really well for you. So say you're taking aniracetam, a choline source, you're taking some vinpocetine for blood flow and oxygen functionality in the brain, and you've got a curveball in there like PRL 853 because you've got a whole lot of studying to do and you've got good working, you need good working memory, or huperzine A or something, right? You've taken it solid every day for a month and a half. Okay, what I would do at this point, and this is the strategy to prevent downregulation, prevent tolerance, and prevent side effects. You can side effects from continuously taking a stack and not cycling ever. That's when side effects really come. Take all of the doses and cut them in half and take that stack for 2 weeks. So if your aniracetam's at 700, take it down to 350. If your CDP choline is at 300, take it down to 150. If your vinpocetine is at 10 milligrams, take it down to 5 milligrams. If the PRL 853 is at 5 milligrams, take it down to 2.5 milligrams. Okay, that is the strategy. Rock that strategy for 2 more weeks, then cycle back onto the full dose of your stack. And what I've been finding, this is where this gets really interesting, man. And I think this is gonna be really super helpful for folks. And what I've been finding is that particularly the college kids, and the college folks, I wanna call them all kids, like you guys aren't kids, you guys are adults, but these folks that really demand a lot of brain performance out of themselves, they are cycling. Not only are they still doing well and still managing their workload while having the dose of their nootropic stacks, but when they come back on, they're not experiencing, it's like boom. It's like, I seen in one of these nootropics Facebook forums, somebody said like, I have suffered from a phenylpiracetam deficiency in my whole life. And then someone said like in the comment sections, yeah, I know what you mean. When you cycle off and then you cycle back on, boom, it's powerful. This seems to be the case. This is happening with some of our consulting clients. Okay, so that's just something to keep in mind. It's sort of in beta testing for as far as I can. I get to do all these experiments and see how they work or not work. And it's kind of in beta, but it is working well for a lot of medical students and a chiropractor, someone that's in chiropractor school that we're consulting, where they're employing the strategy. So I hope you get some use out of that. I guess this is generally on the idea of nootropic sustainability. People truly ask, probably the biggest question I get every day via email is like, can I take this stuff every day? And that's a hard question to answer. I think there are probably ways to do it. I don't suggest taking them every day, but taking them sustainably over time, which is something I learned how to do. And by the way, it wasn't always like that. I ran into side effects with very many nootropic stacks, had to back off of some of them, cycle off of some of them for a while, and then bring them back in, right? When I regulated homeostasis and got my brain back to normal, like it worked again, and I can do it. And then I learned thereafter that I had to cycle in very particular ways in order to sustainably take nootropics. This is one of those ways. I hope you got some utility out of this. Check it out, Product Pro. We got the Smarter, Better, Faster guide. We break stuff like this down in Smarter, Better, Faster. It's digital. Link is in the description below. Download that sucker. It's on livecortex.com. It's a $20 price point right now. The new Pep Pro Stack List. This is sort of recreational and fun because the new Pep Pro Stack List has mighty amounts of powerful new Pep stacks. You've got nasal new Pep spray stacks. They're powerful. Oral new Pep stacks. You take oral capsules of new Pep. We've got different stacks that combine them with every nootropic imaginable to reach great brain states. And then we've got sublingual new Pep stacks, the new Pep Pro Stack List. We did the same thing for the Racetam God Guide. We've got 80 or so stacks in the Racetam God Guide. They're long stacks. These are highly effective. You'll never see these stacks anywhere on the web. Get that stuff at livecortex.com. Get that guide. It's downloadable and digital. And then, hey, if you're looking for a convenient stack that you can just take and not have to worry about it, and you know that it functions really well, get the Cortex stack. We built a stack. It is my stack that I formulated using methodology that really gets the brain to crank up and turn on performance. We're really talking about mental acuity, speed of processing, verbal fluency, motivation, drive to work. It is predominantly a drive to work motivation type of nootropic stack. It is called Cortex. Buy that sucker at livecortex.com. Links in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching the video. Thanks for being with me. Ryan Michael Balla here. Check it out. These 4 are our powerful nootropic products. So start from the top. You're going to want to hear this. Number 1, the Cortex stack. That is our powerful pre-made stack. This is the stack you want to take if you want to get work done. Let me just be serious with you. I created that stack running a company 18 hours a day to get my brain to have massive verbal fluency, total motivation, right? Total overall mental fluidity, lots of mental energy, lots of drive to work. I mean, entrepreneurs need brain performance. We created that stack for people that really, really need brain performance and ain't messing around. The Cortex stack, get it at livecortex.com. You will love that stack. Those digital guides, we'll start from the Racetam God Guide. That guide is a digital stack list of some of the most highly effective brain state specific Racetam stacks on the planet. I mean, basically you're getting oxiracetam, piracetam, aniracetam, phenylpiracetam, coliracetam, faciracetam, nephiracetam, pramiracetam stacks, very powerful stacks of all those racetams laid out in that guide. The new Pep Pro Stack List is a giant list of sublingual, oral, and nasal new Pep stacks. So we've got just myriads of lists of very specific, very surgical new Pep stacks that are highly effective, time tested. I mean, you take one of those stacks, your brain turns on, you will thank me. That thing is digital too. These are all digital, downloaded at livecortex.com. And then lastly, Smarter, Better, Faster is a digital guide that teaches anybody that's within the 1 to 2 year range of taking nootropics, how to take nootropics, how to think about taking nootropics, how to use nootropics surgically to really get optimal brain performance, to totally dominate the realm of nootropics. It gives you very many stacks, my favorite stacks, everything from modafinil, caffeine, theanine protocols to aniracetam, microdosing protocols to uridine, ALA, Alcar, choline stacks to basically everything else in between them. If you want the most powerful stacks on the planet, if you want my personal stacks and my personal philosophy on taking nootropics, get the Smarter, Better, Faster guide. Get all these guides. Get all of this good nootropic stuff at livecortex.com. We make elite level nootropic products for elite level nootropic players. Are you one of them? Let's find out. livecortex.com. Make it happen. Thanks for being with me.